You may not often think about this, but Google and Meta actually want your website to convert as terribly as possible, right? So what do I mean by this? Think about this. You get 100 people come to your website and you've got 10 of them who end up buying something. That's a 10% conversion rate, right? Which is phenomenal. In most instances, though, most e-com websites convert somewhere between 1 to 3.5%. There's higher conversion rate depending on industry and how you're driving traffic at that point in time to achieve that conversion rate. But largely, that's the conversion rate, right? And why this is, and I should say, why conversion rate being low is good for them is because you're going to have to spend more money to drive more people to your site to convert, right? So if you think about what's involved in running an e-commerce business, there's a lot of hoping and praying stuff is going to work. I'm just going to keep spending a bit more on ads and a bit more on ads and a bit more on ads. And, at some point it's going to work and traffic is going to miraculously appear and I'm going to be making, tons and tons of sales from every single thing I do. I do a social media post and I get, 50 sales. I send an email and I get hundreds of sales. I do this and blah, blah, blah. Right. That's the dream. Right. But when it comes to buying media, and what I mean by buying media is like running Google ads or running Facebook ads, it's a different beast altogether because, again, based on where the different levels are in your funnel, bottom, top, middle, and so forth, right? People are going to convert differently or not convert at all, right? So my point of this video is that before you go and do any of that stuff, and when I say do any of that, I mean like you do any of it at scale where you're spending sizable amounts of money every month. You need to nail your conversion rate. You need to nail your brand communication so that when people come to your website, they arrive there and they read exactly what they want to read, and it makes sense and it affects them. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I need to buy this product. I really get it. It feels good. Like this is a great experience. Saying what I want to say, I'm going to purchase, right? Now, there's two parts in this process. Your brand communication strategy, saying the right thing, your website actually converting as good as it can. And I hate to break it to you, to everybody out there, but literally 95% of every single website I look at every day has heaps of conversion issues, right? So there are at least 100 elements that you need to include on your homepage. I mean, there needs to be an add to cart button that does this thing. There needs to be social proof that says this, that behaves like this. Same as you go into a product page, there needs to be this piece of information in this exact location, right? That as someone scrolls, they hit it, they read it, it interrupts their thought process. And they're like, oh, okay, that's what I was looking for, right? And instead of, I couldn't find it and I left. And it's the same with your collection pages, right? So again, homepage, 100 things, product page, 100 things, collection page, another 100 things. So once you've got these 300 things on your website, I can say your website is not converting as good as it can at all, not even close, right? So if you're spending, say you're spending, 10 grand a month, and that 10 grand gets you 50 grand back in sales. If you doubled your conversion rate, right? So, you do exactly the same thing from your ad, what you're doing on your ads, but you fix your conversion rate on your website by including all these things that I'm telling you about, but I'm not going to tell you all of them, obviously. But if you do that, you're going to double your revenue. So think about it. We're heading into March soon or whatever. I think there's a leap year tomorrow or something. But March, April, May, June. So that's just 4 months. 4 months, right, from here, before the financial year finishes. And if you doubled your conversion rate next month, and the month after, and the month after, and the month after, and you did nothing else, right, you just fixed your website, but you did that, and your business was doing 50 grand a month, your business should, effectively, go and do another 50 grand a month, and you're making 100 grand a month, so you made $200,000. So you're not doing anything about your conversion rate. For the next 4 months, you've just lost $200,000 by being a moron, basically. And then if this continues for years and years and years, right, it just compounds. Like, I mean, even if you don't consider the fact that, okay, I improved my conversion rate and that helped that initial conversion, right? But what about all the other people that every time you send an email or something, right? You know, those people come back and they don't convert as good as they can because your website's crap. Or you go and meet someone offline, right? You know, and you're out there and you're at bloody networking events and you're doing this and you're at a trade show and you're at a market stall and blah, 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 blah. And all these people that you talk to, and they're like, I might go check out whatever, Rhonda's candles later or whatever, expensive product. And they come back to your website and they never convert. You've lost all that money. Why did you go to the event for? Right? Because your whole goal is to sell as much stuff as possible. I mean, some of you it's not. Some of you just want a hobby business that's like, I sell $1,000 or $2,000 a month or 10, and that's, you know, that's enough for me. But most people don't want to do that. Most people are like, I want to be doing $100,000 a month and making $20,000 profit. You know what I mean? And retire my husband or retire my wife because they work in my e-com business now, right? So, like, really, really important that this stuff is nailed, absolutely nailed, before you do all the other stuff. Like, please don't go out there doing market stalls. Don't go out there spending, you know, $2,000, $10,000 a month on bloody SEO when your website's rubbish, or you haven't even like fixed, or even the SEO, the on-page stuff and the conversion rate stuff, your website doesn't convert, right? You know, like I often give the analogy that I'm like, if you're trying to find your ideal girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever else goes on these days, and it's a volume game, right? Think about like this, like, before I met my now wife, Emma, you know, again, like I didn't speak to that heaps of girls. Like some people go, I speak to 400 girls, blah, 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 blah. And then I met the one, like I got lucky and I met the one pretty quickly. However, for you guys that like aren't as fortunate as me, and you go out and you're like, I'm going to go and try and find the woman of my dreams, the man of my dreams, or the whatever someone identifies as the cat of my dreams these days. And you're not going to rock up in your bloody Crocs and your bloody board shorts and a muscle top. Well, maybe unless you're Alex Hormozy, in which case, but he can talk very, very well. He's a good communicator, all right? You know what I mean? So he's got a bit up on you guys. But for most people, you're not going to rock up on your date in your Crocs and your bloody, throwing myself off now, in your Crocs, in your tracksuit pants and your wife beater, because you're not putting yourself out there to convert as good as you can. You got to look good. You're going to smell good. You're going to fix your hair. You're going to do everything else that's important to close the person that you need to close when the opportunity presents itself, right? And even using that as an example, you know, again, I would use Alex as an example. Like, he met Layla. He closed Layla. Like, together they've gone on to build what they're building together as a couple, right? Like a fucking juggernaut of a business, do you know what I mean? Influencing lives of like whatever, like all the people that they are, like super bloody good people. I've got a lot of respect for both of them. I hope Alex is not offended by my Crocs comment, but that like if he hadn't have closed that deal, you know, or Layla potentially didn't look how she looked when they met, you know, that might have not happened. Think about all the stuff that would have been missed out on because of that. And conversion rate's exactly the same, right? So, in closing, make sure that your website converts as good as it can. You know, back that up with marketing that's going to convert as good as it can. A brand strategy that converts as good as it can. If not, maybe just spend more time on it until you can figure out how to do it, right? This stuff is not rocket science. If you don't know how to do it, pay people who know how to do it. We can tell you how to do it, you know. There's lots of resources to help you get started. If you want to do it very well, obviously, you know, like you just speak to the people that go, hey, look, you know what? Like, I watched Paul's video and he didn't try to sell me anything for the entire video. And he's mentioned that, like, maybe, look, we're doing $250,000 a month at the moment and our conversion rate is like 2%. And seems like he's probably onto something if we double the conversion rate. And we got our conversion rate to double that. We're going to get $500,000 a month extra in revenue forever. And I realized it's probably going to cost me, whatever, a couple of $1,000s or something to get someone to do an audit. And then whatever the development costs to get the website fixed, right? Probably makes a bit of sense. So, I hope I've made this very clear. Again, thank you to the various people that I hopefully didn't insult along the meeting. I said that I say that with all kindness and so forth. But if you got some value, as always, like the video, share it, send to the people who have shitty websites, please. Like, just share it to everybody. If you've got a friend and you care about them, like, send this website and they're like, hey, my boy Paul thinks your website sucks, and this is probably why it sucks, and I'd like to see you richer. All right. So on that note, enjoy your day. I'm going to go play with the dogs, and I will see you in the next video.